Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahmat Aulia Karmedi, and today this is my mini proposal of qualitative research in a context of language teaching. And my proposal that is titled as Exploring Teacher Support to Overcome Students' Anxiety in Learning English. Here's the table of content. First is introduction, number two is regulatory review, and number three is methodology. Now I'm going starting with introduction. Background of the problem. English has become important foreign language to study in Indonesia, and knowing it is required not only in school but also in its variety of jobs, according to Plantita and Adnan in 2021. Another research by Septiana and Aminatul in same year in 2021, they said that English an international language which is learned by many people to catch up with the development of the world in the world, especially in education, science, and technology. In recent years, English has practically become a prominent language. English is one of the most important topics in Indonesian schools. As a result, it has been taught by a variety of educational levels, including primary, junior, and senior high school, in the hopes that students will be better prepared to tackle the globalization period as a result of their formal education. While numerous studies have While numerous studies have investigated the causes and effects of language learning anxiety, relatively little attention has been given to the role of teachers in supporting students to overcome these specific issues. Teachers play a crucial role in creative supporting and nurturing learning environment that encourage risk-taking, builds confidence, and address students' individual needs. However, the specific strategies and approach employed by teachers to mitigate language learning anxiety remain unexplored. Therefore, there is pressing need for research to explore the way in which teachers can effectively support students in overcoming anxiety related to learning English by identifying effective teaching practices, pedagogical approaches, and support mechanisms. Educators can better address the complex challenge associated with language learning anxiety and create inclusive learning environments conducive to students' linguistic and socio-emotional growth. And next is research question. Number one is what is the factor of students who has anxiety that caused by learning English? And number two is what is the effort that teachers do for the teachers who struggle to learn English? And number three is how much impact or support from the teacher to overcome students who has fear of learning English. Next is purpose of research. Number one, to identify the factor of students who has anxiety that caused by learning English. Number two, to explore how way the effort that teachers do for the students who struggle to learn English. And number three, to see how much impact of support from teachers to overcome students who has a fear of learning English. Benefit of research. Number one is theoretical benefits. A number of previous researchers have already proved that teacher support can help students overcome their anxiety that caused by learning English. Number two is practical benefit. Point A, significant for the students. Both the researchers and collaborators expect all the students were able to understand about struggling learning English as an international language. Furthermore, this method will involve the students to master the material because they work together and help one another during the class. Point B, significant for the lecture of teachers. This research expectedly providing support system from teachers guiding the students in gaining their students' motivation to learn English. In addition, the researchers expect this research result to be consideration in space for making English community. Point C, significance for institution or school. The researchers extremely expected that this research was able to provide some solution in a certain situations, especially for those students who have a serious problem in learning English as foreign language. Now, we are moving on to the literature review. Okay, for the data review, point one is anxiety. According to Umrah in 2011, anxiety is the temporary feeling of anxiety emerged by threatening situation. It is nervousness of tension at a particular moment in response to some outside stimulus. Another research by Angelia and Lesvani in 2019, they said that anxiety is not an illness. It's just a type of behavior to anticipate upcoming unpredictable situation. Point two, types of anxiety. There are two kinds of anxiety that have been described as state anxiety and threat anxiety, are the most well known. First is state anxiety. State anxiety will arise the first confronted with a specific situation. People most experience state anxiety, which is also known as normal anxiety. Okay. Next, the cause of anxiety. According to Damaiti and Lesvani, uh, in 2020, cited Horowitz et al. In 1986 in the research called Foreign Language Classroom Anxiety. He claimed that the three influential anxiety affecting factors, they are apprehension of verbal communication, test anxiety, and fear of negative evaluation. The first factor that causes students speaking anxiety is apprehension of verbal communication. It means the fear of anxiety experienced by people when they thought that they will be evaluated by others. The relationship between anxiety and learning English. In a number of cases, there were students who the process of language learning was justified to provoke anxiety. As been reported, concerning speaking activities, the students considered speaking problematic not only due to the psychological factors of having lack of self-confidence, being afraid of making mistakes, nervousness, and shyness to others, but also because of the thought of that speaking requires the mastery of several languages that maintain covering pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency in either comprehension, according to Sayori in 2016. Similarity, strict classroom environment and how instructors manage the class were also blamed for the tension and uneasiness the students experience during foreign language learning. Japan and Simsek in 2012 noted that one student particularly attributed his language anxiety to the teacher for having unpleasant experience with mistake correction. Other students pointed that they were reluctant to speak in front of classroom because they were afraid being humiliated by their peers when making mistakes. Okay, we're moving on to methodology. Now, for methodology, for the methodology, um, research method. Because of the research to answer what factors trigger students speaking anxiety in English class, especially in high school students. So technical questionnaires to identify students' English anxiety at the beginning of the English language learning classroom. It can also be used by learning teachers to effectively teach English speaking skills. So to address the question, the researchers will use a qualitative research as a deepening to of understanding a given problem. The objective is to produce a deep depth of illustrative research in order to understand the various dimensions of the problem under analysis. The researchers did the research at the speaking class because the class is highest level of speaking class according to media in 2017. For participant example, uh, so the place will be used SMA Negeri 1 Bukit Tinggi. The population of these researchers will be all English teacher SMA Negeri 1 Bukit Tinggi. The number of the population of English teacher are 2 teachers. So this research we use simple random sampling which determine all sample units in the specific population that have the same equal non-chance of being selected. For the instrument, the researchers will use the questionnaire with the topic of the story in the project teacher support for students who have fear of learning English. The researchers will after the researchers will share um, their experience based on the phenomenon and providing the values. The study was created through discussion and interview with the learners at various points in the process of learning English. Both tutor and other learners provide some notes for feedbacks. The tutors will ask the student to revise the project based on the feedbacks. So the questionnaire, so the researchers have the some questionnaires will be give to the teachers, and then will ask and share some experience about their experience teaching English, and what the trigger, what the thing that people, what the students very find very hard to understand English, and is there any, they have they give them support space for at least making safe place to learning English, because um, making mistake and learning English is very normal, and it's not like um, having a class as a place for making mistake. At least we have the teachers can be have a nice mentor to the student. So has they uh, have the space for the students, has they provide some support to the students, and that will be the from the questionnaire from the research. All right, I think that's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.